So, Oklahoma, skull drag Kansas State. Beat them like a rented mule. Beat them like they owed OU money. And you know who was money? Kyler Murray. Kyler Murray was money. But it wasn't just Kyler Murray that was money. The offense was money. And then the defense, we'll get the defense in a bit. But hey, 27 points allowed by the starters in 2 games. That's 13.5 points per game. Had 11 possessions, Kansas State. Put up 14 points total. Telling you it's coming together. This is our time of year. This is what we do. Let's do the roll call right quick because you know what time it is. You know what time it is. Let's do the roll call.
And you know who was
Let me see. Who in here?
Kyler Murray.
Let's see. Robert, what's good? Jake, what's good? Goat's in here. Let me see what else we got in here. Jennifer, hey, what's up? Bradley character in here. Steel boy, I see you, fam. By the way, comic book. It's on its way. Actually, some of y'all already got it. Sean Robertson, what's good? Bear Tompkins in here. Shout out to Stuart. Sooner Ace in the house. Chad Estes, I see you, fam. Joshua Fairless, what's up? Warthog in the house. Dirty Jerry, long time no see. William Zabala, what's good? Mario Ibarra's in here. Dakota Green, Garrett Utsey, what's good? Gregory Rayford, Ryan Morewood, Curtis Kidd, 12, Adrian White, Matthew Bingham, Jake Gann, Coach B, Vegas Rambler, Stephen Gordon, what's up? Mike McCoy, what's good? Jimmy Jeff 88, Jonathan Hales, I see you. Ryan, Jesse Killian, what's good? Matthew Bingham, I see you. Don King is in here. Jay Gray in the house. Cuber, see you, fam. Chihuahua Mama, what's good? Chopper Cal, I see you, fam. Michael Humphreys, I see you, fam. Steven Brown in here. Sooner Bears in here. Crankstar, long-time friend of the channel. Willie Horn, what's good? Dad Super, I see you, fam. Ryan Eli in here. Ryan King with Super Chat, appreciate you, fam. Curtis Schwab in the house. Zen X Plays, what's good? Lloyd Grissom, long-time friend of the channel. Travis Bowie, what's good? General 55. Ben NYC. Hank, what's good, Hank? JT Rhodes in the house. Jeff Ramsey in the house. Brandon Johnson in the house. Walker Crane in the house. Cade Mason Music. I see you, fam. What else we got here? Brent Norton. It's good. William Courtwright. Virgil Walker. June Park. Hey, shout out to Laurel. Weapon X. Braid. Mama. Hey, Mama. I know Terry's in here too. Let me see. So we got a lot to talk about. Really, 51-14 shellacking of the Kansas State Wildcats, and I thought this game was going to be so much closer. I thought this game was going to be a nail-biter, and the way that these games have kind of been, except for the 55-0 shellacking that I've been reminded about a few years back. But maybe Bill Snyder doesn't have it anymore. I mean, it's not just the way that the team is playing. It's also that they were undisciplined. They picked up penalties. They showed that they were pissed because we all know that the personal foul that was on Tyrese Robinson should have been on Patton. Patton should have been ejected because all he did was suplex TJ Pledger, who rushed for 91 yards on 13 carries. But, this Kansas State team, I don't know what to do with them. They're bad at quarterback. The running back, Alex Barnes, couldn't get out of the barn. See what I did there? Isaiah Zuber, how are you going to fumble the kickoff return, dog? Like, you're the best wideout on this team. And the defense, 702 yards of offense. Kansas State allowed Oklahoma. I say allowed because, well, they didn't allow OU to do jack. OU offense went for 702 yards on 68 plays. That is better than a first down per play. I mean, if I'm Kansas State and I'm the defensive coordinator, do I show up to work tomorrow? Or do I just decide that I'm going to sell insurance from now on? Because that's 702 yards, 51 points, 68 plays. OU had the ball the same number of times Kansas State had the ball, 11 times, right? Now, on which possession did OU not score, right? That's the other thing that I'm kind of looking at. TD, field goal, TD, field goal, TD, field goal, punt, halftime. Like, come on, man. Like, this is ridiculous. Average start position for Oklahoma was its own 26. 0 3-and-outs. 0 3-and-outs by the offense. Right? We got 4 from the defense. That's what's up. I saw a super chat in here. I missed it. Robert, shout out to Buki. Slobber knocking hit. Man, Buki, I thought that dude was dead, y'all. Like, I thought it was, I gotta stop with that joke. First, I'm gonna stop with that joke. I'm gonna stop with the dead jokes. This is a bad day to have those sorts of jokes. For those of you that haven't followed national news, go check out what's going on in Pittsburgh. If you have folks in Pittsburgh or in the Pittsburgh area, please check on them. Prayers, I mean, it happened. It's happening too often now. But stop with those jokes because yeah, bad taste. That's my fault. Let me see. What else we got in here? Oh, we were talking about Buki and the savage hit. We were talking about Buki and the hit he had on tight end who gave up. He's giving up like 70 pounds to the tight end. Now, I'm sure his shoulder might have been sprained. Maybe it was slightly separated because he was writhing in pain after delivering the blow. But upon replay, it looked like that wasn't an incomplete pass. It looked like that was actually, a fumble. And you might want to go look at that. Williams Abala. Can't wait to see Ruffin's dance moves today. Amen to that. Greg Tate. Yo, RJ, give props, dog. I said OUD was having a coming out party. Only thing I missed was a bookie on getting hit. Greg, I made that video. It's called the TCU recap video. I can't give you props for something I already said. It's not a coming out party. They held TCU to 20 points, dog. They held TCU to 20 points and 163 yards passing, dog. They gave up less than 300 yards offense, dog. I can't give you props for that. I appreciate SUPERCHAT. I do. But I can't give you props for something that we were already talking about a week ago. It's not a coming out party. Right? This is now what we do. It's no longer RBU. It's no longer wide receiver you. It's no longer Heisman you. It's 3 and outs you. I will not hear counterpoints today. But I too am very excited about the defense, Greg. Like this is the kind of defense that I've wanted, man. 4-man fronts, even saw 5-man fronts. We saw 2 linebackers in the middle of the field all the time. Right? They went 4 wide, we went 4-2-5. Yes. Ronnie Perkins coming off the edge. Kenneth Mann coming off the edge. Jalen Redmond. 1.5 tackles for loss. Matter of fact, that's the last time I checked that stat. Let's check and see what the defensive players did. What Jalen Redmond did. Jalen Redmond had 2.5 tackles for loss and 5 tackles. This dude was on blood thinner during the summer. He's a superhero. Both Curtis Bolton and Kenneth Murray Jr. had 7 tackles. Bolton had 2.5 tackles for loss. Robert Barnes had a half tackle for loss. He had a great game today. He had an outstanding game. Didn't have any sacks, but, they don't really throw the ball over there at Kansas State. Had 3 pass breakups, 2 quarterback hurries, and then Neville Gallimore with the forced fumble where Skylar Thompson thought he was going to break through there, and all Gallimore did was get a left paw on it. Man, defensive line, the linebackers, grades is going to be good for them. Grades is going to be real good. What else we got in here? Kelvin Hicks in here? I missed it if he was. Virgil Walker, prayers for Pittsburgh from Preacher in Nebraska. Appreciate that, Virgil. What else we got in here? Mordecai or Kendall? Rattler. Look, it's Kendall's job to lose. I like Tanner Mordecai. I think that those guys obviously have a leg up because they're already here. But if anything, I have learned that freshman quarterbacks playing college football right away isn't nearly the chore that it used to be. Right? A lot of this is because of the way the offenses are run. But more of it is because the kids are coming ready-made to play college ball right now. Just look at what Trevor Lawrence is doing. Justin Fields is already waiting for Jake Fromm to make a mistake, and all Jake Fromm did last year was started as a true freshman quarterback. So, yeah, we'll see how that one shakes out. And there's nothing about Austin Kendall's game right now that makes me think that he's ironclad. That said, what do I know? Except I do know something. Because I watched Kyler Murray go 18 of 21 for 356 in mop-up time for Baker Mayfield, and I said he's going to be good. Didn't say he's going to be this good. Didn't say he was going to be, it's not just that he's elite. It's that between him and the dude whose first name is 1 letter short of Tuna, we haven't seen this kind of quarterback play. Ever. Ever. We have not seen this kind of efficiency at the position ever. Right? This is history that we are watching from Tua Tagovailoa and Kyler Murray. Right? And we were going back and forth about if either one of those guys wasn't playing right now, how the Heisman Award would already be given to whoever was left standing. That said, it is fun to watch this 2-horse race between Tagovailoa and Kyler Murray. Dieter! Best game of the year. I am very proud of the defense. Boomer Sooner. By the way, Dieter, I need your, hit me up on Twitter with your Gmail because folks that donated to the live stream last Thursday, they get a copy of this. This is Blood Country, Ruthless. It's a comic book. Oh, man, me hitting the mic, see? I do it. Comic book, right? I wrote the comic book. My man Derek Hefner, he's an illustrator. right? You go to Patreon, drop $5 there, you can get the PDF, just like folks who did it in the live stream. But these, I think we're gonna, I'm gonna have to set up a shop of some sort because these are cool, and I want to be able to sell them. This sneak view preview comic, it's 8 pages. It's really great artwork, like $10. They're great. Back to OU football. What else we got here? RJ, the D has fast and much better. Jimmy James. Yeah, yeah, okay. Tua can't catch Kyler. Ooh, Denise bringing heat. Your thoughts on how Redmond played? I thought he was great. He got more snaps. It's pretty good. You know, I mean, he's got his hand on the ground, so that jack linebacker position seems like it's gone, which I'm actually kind of excited about. They're just treating him like outside linebackers as opposed to one guy doing yeoman's work out there on the edge. I think that's awesome. Let me see. Jake says, Texas, you just make sure to make it out of stool water. Can you do that for me? I don't think they can. And I get to this in the post-game recap video that we do, which is going to premiere as soon as this live stream ends, because we're going to try that out, see how it works, because folks are really enjoying the premiere, and I dig it. I think it's a really cool feature that YouTube has allowed me to test out. Greg's back, $5 super chat. I said on your last vid, and I quote, what last vid, dog? Like you argued with me about something that I told you that we did on Sunday last week. Last vid? You talking about the last one, me in Kansas State last night? Bro, like, we've been talking about how the defense has been running up people since TCU. That was a week ago. Right? And we've been talking about since the bye week how Ruffin McNeil's going to change the attitude of the defense because he's telling all the kids how great they are instead of how much they suck. I've been laying that out for like a week, dog. And I understand that, you know, you have an opinion about it. But I can't give you credit for an opinion that I've already had. I can't do that, man. Just like I can't give you credit for me picking Purdue to beat Ohio State. Can't do that, dog. By the way, I got Oklahoma State beating Texas, so feel free to beat me up about that if Texas wins tonight. You know, I'm not going to do that. That's not what we do. That's not how we get down. Professor, what's good? What's wrong with TCU? Man, they don't have a quarterback. They don't trust their running backs. And Kavante Turpin getting kicked off the team for allegedly, check this out, dragging his girlfriend through a parking lot. Ugh. Man, that's a nasty look. That ain't going to help you, right? And when you hang your hat on defense and your defense is getting lit up, nah, man. But to be fair, their defense hasn't been getting lit up, right? They gave up 17 points to Texas Tech. They gave up 17 points or 14 points to Iowa State. They look good since Big 12 play, and they played with Ohio State for 3.5 quarters. So I don't know that they're just terrible. They just look bad. They just look really, really bad because they don't have a quarterback. And this is a league in which you have to have a quarterback. You have to. If you can't put up 30, you might as well not even show up to work, right? And that's one of the other reasons why I'm trying to get Joe Clapp to come on the channel. Because we have a similar opinion about this, but I go a little bit the other way. FaZe, what you got? We shut down the run game against Alex Barnes. True story. Matter of fact, before I get back on my tip about who could challenge Alabama, and I made that video too. Let's see. What do we hold Alex Barnes to? Alex Barnes, 13 attempts, 28 yards, 2.2 yards per carry. My goodness. This is a guy that rushed 34 times for 181 yards against Oklahoma State. Bedlam going to be fun. Like, bring that same game y'all brought to Kansas State and might get 100 dropped on you. Because Lincoln pulling Kyler Murray and starters ain't going to be able to help you. You play that kind of football against Oklahoma. Let's see. What else we got? Dr. Cabot, what you got? Hey, RJ, what do you think of all the young guys get time and how they looked? What's your Texas versus Lil Bro score prediction? Score prediction, I don't know, dog. Like, I would, 41-38, Oklahoma State. You know, I'd expect Texas to keep pace, but I don't really trust Sam Hard, G. Ellinger, or Shane Buechele. I really don't. I'd love to see Cameron Rising, or really like to see Casey Thompson back there. But Colin Johnson and Lil Jordan Humphrey, they're a load. I mean, they're both enormous wide receivers, and I challenge you to find anybody in the Big 12 that can cover them. So all you really got to do is throw the ball in the vicinity because catch radius, right? We all know that they can play defense over there at Texas, and Keontae Ingram is actually a pretty good running back. That said, if you give the ball to Justice Hill 30 times, you should not lose this football game, Mike Gundy. Get him 30 touches. I don't care how you do it. Just get him 30 touches. And then Tywin Wallace, he's doing that Oklahoma State wide receiver thing, right? where he just gets open and he makes catches. That's what he does. Hubbard's not bad. 4-2-5 that they run at Oklahoma State is not terrible. It's better with Calvin Bundage on the field, but it's not terrible, and they can keep pace. I think they get a couple picks, they'll win the game. That said, how do I feel about the little brother, the young kids getting in? Like, short of Pleasure and Redmond, I think it's all kind of sewn up. I got to see Deshaun White in the first half, remember that? Next to Caleb Kelly, and he didn't look bad, but he also demonstrated why K9 is such a big deal to the defense now, and this is what I was harping on last year, is that the dude was starting as a true freshman, and for him to be as good as he was as a true freshman and playing the position for the first time in his life, I banking on it, man. The defense was going to be built around him, and it had to be, right? It had to be. And then Curtis Bolton comes seemingly out of nowhere to become the second best dude, and for some folks, the best dude on the defense, and the defensive line is coming on. It hasn't been terrible, right? It ain't been great, but it ain't been terrible. It ain't been a liability up front, right? And if the secondary and those young cats can just get it screwed on tight, I'm telling you, a year from now, 2 years from now, the secondary is going to be a bunch of ball hawks and hitters. Buki, Robert Barnes, Trey Norwood, Trey Brown, Justin Broyles, all those dudes can play. All those dudes can play. But my worry after this season is the offensive line. Because you're going to lose 3 starters, 3 guys that have played a lot of football and played together, and Ben Powers, Drew Samia, and Bobby Evans. That's Cody Ford, Creed Humphrey. They're going to have to do a lot of work, right? They're going to have to raise a bunch of pups like Darrell Simpson, like Bray Walker, like Tremonda Moore, right? And Tyrese Robinson, some other dudes. Who am I? I'm thinking of Adrian Ely. Another dude's going to have to come on strong. So that's what I think about those dudes. OU's best way to make the playoff is to win out. I mean, Jonathan, that's what we got to do. You take care of what you can take care of, right? You win out, it'll take care of itself. I'm convinced, because you're going to have somebody else catch an L, right? That's at the top, whether it be Michigan with Ohio State, whether it be Bama versus LSU or in the SEC championship, or Notre Dame against, I thought it was going to be Florida State, but the way that Florida State looked against Clemson today, that's rough. That's rough. I mean, and Clemson seems like they're going to come out of this looking like a world beater because they don't really play nobody, because the ACC ain't deep. It's actually about as deep as the Big 12. It's just Clemson is so balanced because we know the defense is good, but the offense is pretty good too. People don't want to admit that offense actually looks better and is more potent with a true freshman at quarterback in Trevor Lawrence, because Travis Etienne is just rolling people up at running back. And we all know Brent Venables will put the fear of God into you with his defense. Outside of that, Joe Clapp pretty much put an end to the argument that UCF is going to get into this or should be into it. That was a great video, by the way. Dominique Gomez, West Virginia and Texas in the conference championship. Texas is who we want, but Oklahoma State beating Texas that's done for me. Could be Iowa State at this point, though. People forget. Iowa State got a Texas Tech team that was 5-2 heading into today. It was not a bad Texas Tech team. It's actually a pretty good Texas Tech team, right? So Iowa State wins out. They beat Texas. They get into the Big 12 championship because they have the win over West Virginia, right? West Virginia and Texas next week, that's the big game, because they're going to weed each other out one way or another. Curtis Kidd, 12. Missed the game today because of work. Glad to be here now. What do you think KU beating TCU, and what is our hardest game kind of about the Big 12 title game? West Virginia. That's the toughest game. Kansas isn't going to be the pushover that it was, but I would put Kansas on par with Baylor this year. They're both pretty decent. They're just not good, right? They're just not good. As far as KU beating TCU, that speaks more to how bad TCU has become over the last couple of weeks than how Kansas is good. We know Kansas is better than it has been because of the way that they've been playing football from jump. They got a road win. They had a winning record at one point, right? People are like signing David Beatty to an extension all of a sudden. And this is without really having much at quarterback and relying almost entirely on the defense. So I think it speaks to more how TCU's just bad. Sorry. 2013 they were bad, right? And then they bounced back. That's what you're going to have to do at Texas Christian, because you're not going to be able to sign big recruiting classes. And you have to hit every single kid you recruit. And everybody thought that Sean Robinson was going to be pretty good because he's the best Texas quarterback. He's the highest rated Texas Christian quarterback that they've ever got to sign the national letter of intent. And he might end up being a dud. I don't know. Thought that about Trayvon Boykin at one point. And then Sonny Cumbie came in there and he became a world beater. So we'll just have to see. Robert Barnes tweeted Joel Klatt, call in Sooner Nation. I did. I've done it. I continue to do it. Joel Klatt knows that he has an open invitation to come on channel and talk to me, and we'll probably do some Skype audio because I'm tired of y'all yelling at me about the audio, even though that, there are only a few people that support this channel with channel donations. Let's keep it real here, and I do the best I can with what I got, right? So people that want to continue to complain about the quality of the audio on the channel, pony up to the Patreon, pony up to the Super Chat. If Robert, for instance, tells me something, I listen. Terry tells me something, I listen. Brandon Watt tells me something, I listen. Right? Bill Beach tells me something, I listen. Because they're giving their hard-earned money to try to make this channel better. Matter of fact, we have a benefactor that gave us this here. This is the best studio mic in the world. Period. Better live stream equipment. Better cameras to record the on-demand videos. Right? That's why the channel continues to grow the way it grows. I'm just the dude behind the mic. The people that support the channel make the thing go. Alright, I'm going to get off my soapbox. I keep hearing about Redmond, dog. I'm excited about Redmond. He had 2.5 tackles for loss. I'm more excited about the defense as a whole. They gave up 14 points total on 11 possessions, right? Held a running team to virtually nothing. Matter of fact, let's take a look at that. How many yards did Kansas State rush for? 137 on 32 attempts. That's 4.3 yards per carry. Most of that came on Skylar Thompson late. All right, cool. We will take that every single step of the way. But then you look at passing. Kansas State threw the ball 21 times, had 108 yards passing. Goodness, that's bad. That's real bad. Kansas State's not a good football team, but the defense is actually getting pretty good. I know that's not necessarily the thing that people want to hear, right? Right? They want to hear that, I don't know, it ain't the defense, it's the teams we've been playing. I don't subscribe to that, right? Because I've watched this team. And I've been the person yelling about this team through a box on the internet for nearly a year and a half about how I'm so tired of Mike Stoops not putting his players in positions to succeed because the same group of kids that got 48 dropped on them by a Texas team that was getting 28 points a game and less than 500 yards of offense a game held TCU 20 points, less than 300 yards total, and then came back the next week and dropped a hammer on Kansas State. Same kids. So I'm so excited about the way this defense is playing. I really am. Whoa, Dr. Cabot! Good grief, the $100 Super Chat. How do we win a national championship from this point? I think you saw it today, man. Honestly, you saw the offense be unstoppable. Legendary is what you really saw. You saw the offense be legendary. Average of first down per play. 700 yards of offense. You saw 2 botched snaps, right? 2 blown snaps. 2 different quarterbacks. Both quarterbacks picked it up, knew what to do with it. Made a positive gain, right? CeeDee Lamb caught everything that was thrown his way. You didn't have to rely on Marquise Brown to have the home run hitter play. He only had 2 catches for 22 yards. Kennedy Brooks, after Trey Sermon had been gashing people, comes in, destroys what's left of Kansas State's pride. Right? Grant Calcaterra was wide open in space, and then the defense did what it needed to do. Right? Wasn't great on 3rd down. We know that. Wasn't great on 4th and short. We know that. But this is a team that can win a national title because it's got matchups. Right? It's got the matchup. That's the thing to remember. Because Klatt actually hit on it, and this is something that I made the point of with the Fight Me video earlier this week with the bad audio. Look, first 15 minutes is actually really good audio. Nobody want to tell me that. But you have a team with Oklahoma that says we can win a game where we're playing first person to 50 wins. We can do that. We've shown we can do that. Oklahoma has its last 2 losses scored 45 points. Think about that for a second. The last 2 teams that beat Oklahoma had to score more than 45 to do it. Right? And even the last one we had, Oklahoma scored 21 points in 6 minutes. So from this point forward, continue to be healthy on offense and play the way you played against Kansas State, TCU, Texas, everybody else. The defense is getting to the point to where it can keep pace, right? If you get Tua into 3rd and long, I think you can win it. If you get Clemson into 3rd and long, I think you can win it, right? I don't see Notre Dame and think that's a team you can't beat. I don't see Michigan and think it's a team you can't beat, so forth, so on. But I think we have a really clear path ahead of us. The offense continues to do what the offense does, and the defense continues to play like it did against TCU and Kansas State, and all of a sudden, this is the hottest team in the country again. And I like where we are. I like where we are because nobody's looking at Oklahoma right now. They're looking at Texas. They're looking at Alabama. They're looking at Clemson. They're looking at Michigan. They're looking at Notre Dame. They are not looking in this direction. And all of a sudden, we're going to end up in the Big 12 title game against Texas, West Virginia, Iowa State, whatever piece of meat they want to throw up there in Dallas at 11 a.m. on a Saturday. Going to win that game, and the selection committee is going to know exactly what to do with Oklahoma. Let me see. What else we got in here? Whoa, with these super chats, y'all. Y'all crushing it. Goodness. Greg, you said that. Okay, we back on the D. You said the D going to have a long day versus Kansas State. I said it's going to be a game with the D show out. We on the same page. Don't get crazy at me. We stay on the same page. All right. Tanner Henshaw. Go get you that quality equipment, brother. I know that Kansas State, TCU are no pushovers, but how do you think our defense will be able to sustain against the likes of Will Grier or Tua, particularly Parnell Motley in the secondary squad? Well, I think, again, when it comes to Will Grier, you're going to have to take the Iowa State tape. They dropped 8 against him and they tackled. That's how they beat him. And when they brought pressure, it was a fire zone blitz. They usually brought 5 or 6, right? And they went and they got him in the backfield. It's not an unbeatable team, right? Going man to man, that's how Will Grier beat you. Got something in my mouth. I don't know what that is. But David Sills can beat you, right? We know they got wide receivers that can beat you man to man. You're going to have to drop folks, run your 4-2-5, run your cloud coverages, not so much cover 3, right? You're going to have to give help over the top, and you're going to have to ask Curtis Bolton and Kenneth Murray Jr. to run everything down in the middle like they did today, right? Curtis Bolton was sure every time he saw a screen, every time he saw sideline to sideline, right? Kenneth Murray Jr. running stuff down from one end of the field to the other. You're going to ask those guys in the middle to take care of the middle so that your 5 DBs can cover all these wide receivers that are going to be out in routes. And then you're going to see if West Virginia can beat you running the football. And I don't think they can because the run defense at Oklahoma, low-key, it's been pretty good the last few weeks, man. It's something I've actually been shocked by because you basically got 6 people in the box, right? And you're saying that that's enough to stop the run in the Big 12. They're doing it. They're doing it. I'm excited about that. Let me see. I missed a super chat. Dominique Gomez. With LSU being number 4, are we rooting for Bama? I'm not. I think LSU can beat Bama. But at this point, I don't really care, right? Today, on October 27th, I don't really care. Because Clemson's in the mix and we owe them a beating. Bama hasn't beaten Oklahoma in 50-plus years. They're not really high on my list of priorities, except to say they're the thing in the way of the national championship. Then it's a problem, right? Miami, who I would really like to skull drag, ain't going to see them again. Texas, they got to get past Oklahoma State and West Virginia just so they get to the Big 12 title game. Their schedule is backloaded. Nobody wanted to say that out loud, right? Florida is no longer in the mix because Georgia got a W over them today, right? Let me check on this Iowa game. Penn State beat Iowa, right? So it doesn't look like Iowa's going to be in the mix. Penn State, we already know what's going on with them. What else are we looking at here? Don't have to worry about NC State anymore. Might have to worry about Notre Dame. In which case, we owe them a whooping too. Actually, no, we don't, because we went to South Bend and we got that W. I remember because I was covering that game. That was really cool, by the way. I took my picture in front of Touchdown Jesus and everything. Man, I never expected South Bend to be the kind of place where I looked around and was like, I don't really want to be here. Because, I watched Rudy like the rest of y'all. And then I watched it enough times, saw he was offsides, and I became disenfranchised disillusioned with the entirety of Rudy's existence. Jonathan Carl, $2 super chat. What you got? Mordecai getting PT over Kendall. Yeah, I could see that. I could see it because I don't see anything about Austin Kendall that would scare me if I'm a quarterback, which Doesn't necessarily mean that Austin Kendall's bad at his job, but I take Lincoln Riley. The best thing going for Austin Kendall right now is that Lincoln Riley swears up and down that the competition between him and Kyler was neck and neck. He swears up and down that it's one of the closest competitions that he's ever been a part of. And after what I've seen from Kyler Murray this year, if Austin Kendall is anywhere near Kyler Murray next year, it's his job. It's his job. Spencer will sit, Tanner will sit, and that'll be that, right? So I think that's the thing that Austin Kendall has going for him, is that Lincoln Riley really does believe he can win a national title with Austin Kendall as his quarterback, right? And it's not even that Austin Kendall is as good a runner. We know that he's not. We know that nobody is. It's that perhaps there's a version of this offense that exists in the way that it existed for Baker Mayfield, where he can just tailor it to what Austin Kendall does well, and in that way, Lincoln Riley is doing all the work for Austin Kendall to try to give him the best opportunity to succeed, which is his job both as a play caller and as a head coach. So I could see Austin Kendall, if for no other reason than Lincoln Riley thinks that he might have had him as a starter if Kyler didn't show him some things during the preseason camp. And now that we've seen what Kyler's doing, I kind of want to see what that version of Austin Kendall looks like too. Haven't heard that about Tanner Mordecai. Let me see. What else we got going here? Also, RJ Young writes at gmail.com. If you hit me with the super chat, I want to get you a PDF of Blood Country. By the way, since I'm over here talking about stuff that I've made, if you haven't bought this book, it's my book, Let It Bang, I would appreciate it. It's a big deal. It's the #1 new release in shooting and hunting, which is weird because I didn't hunt a thing in this book. But if you bought it, please go write an Amazon customer review. Do that thing. It really does help with the sales, helps other people discover it. And we would like to sell a bunch of books over here because that's actually what I do. What else we got in here? Dominique Gomez, $2 super chat. 1 Bama, 2 Notre Dame, 3 Clemson, 4 OU. No. That's what I think. I think no. What else we got? I'm looking for question mark. Christopher Bundy. Tua is good, but Murray's numbers are better. He has more TDs and yards in the air. On top of that, rushing yards, your thoughts? I think that today I would give it to the left-hander. Because I've seen that dude against defenses that I know are good, just carve him up. It's not even that the teams are good. I've seen him against defenses that I know are good, and he's carved him up. Right? I got a hard time giving it to Kyler just from what I've seen from Tua. Right? And you got to take into account a win-loss record. And I know people will say, and they'd be right, Alabama ain't really played nobody. Their schedule is really backloaded because they rely a lot on their SEC competition, particularly the SEC West, right? But Kyler did lose to Texas, right? It doesn't matter that he played lights out. It matters that he put the ball on the ground one time. He also threw a pick. Tell me where you've seen Tua Tagovailoa throw an interception this year. I'll wait. Yeah, okay. That's what I think too. Let's see what else we got in here. I'm sorry, but I don't think Kendall is great. He's not bad, but I'd rather see someone else get the job. I mean, okay. But I hope that person is far and away better than Austin Kendall. And like I said, what Lincoln says is what... That's the thing. So, like, I called the defense, right? RJ for DC. I called the defense. Now, I don't feel that I need to do that anymore. But I still feel comfortable calling the defense, right? I don't at all feel comfortable calling the offense. So I always think it's funny that there are probably close to 3 million people who aren't getting paid to call Oklahoma's offense that want to tell Lincoln Riley what to do. I'm not one of those. So if Lincoln Riley tells me that Austin Kendall is the best quarterback he has, I choose to believe that dude because I can't think of anybody in college football who's better at that job than he is. That is the one thing on the entire staff where I go, nope, that's the guy that needs to be doing his job. Like I said, I'll call the defense. I'll even call the defense now, and I trust Ruffin, and I like Ruffin, right? But I ain't going anywhere near the offense. Lincoln can do whatever Lincoln wants to do, right? And he knows when he makes some bad play calls, and he'll be the first person to chastise himself. But I'm not better at it than he is, and neither are you. It's just how it is. $20 super chat. What we got? Rob Edson. Phonetic spellings for RJ because I will butcher your name, and I'm sorry about that. Oklahoma the biggest threat to Bama. I think so. I think you're right in that, except Clemson. Oklahoma except Clemson, right? Because Clemson can keep up with the basketball game that would have to be played with Tua as their starting quarterback there, but also it has an edge on defense because as good as Oklahoma has become on defense, the ceiling is nigh. The ceiling for how good the defense can be in 2018, we're getting close to it because that secondary isn't going to all of a sudden become a bunch of world beaters, right? That is still the place where OU is most vulnerable on defense, and it will be for the rest of the season. Clemson doesn't have that problem. Clemson's actual best unit is its defense. And the other thing that Oklahoma's going to have to use, right, is the beamer ball that we saw today, right? Particularly with Jordan Parker coming up with that fumble that Isaiah Zuba put on the ground. I think that's also an edge with an Alabama team. We'll have opportunities to go get one on special teams and flip, get 6, get 7, get 3, right? Where we might not have been able to do that last year. I think, yes, we have a great matchup with Alabama. I'm not so confident in saying that it's better than Clemson's, but it's still a good matchup, and I like it. Let's see, what else we got in here? We need LSU. I don't really. I hear you saying we need LSU to lose and we need this team to lose, but if I see it as an Oklahoma dude, Oklahoma's just got to win out. And then who we play is who we play. Because, the path is set up pretty good right now, right? If Bama wins out, all right, they're in. Clemson wins out, all right, they're in. Now what? Notre Dame wins out, all right, they're in. Then you got a bunch of one-loss teams, right? Michigan has the best chance to unseat an Oklahoma team with a one-loss team because they got a one loss to Notre Dame. Oklahoma has one loss to Texas. So that's why a lot of folks would really like to see Texas in that Big 12 title game again, is because that's OU's best loss, right? Outside of that, what are you looking at? Because the way I see it, if LSU beats Alabama, right, you're going to have at least 2 one-loss teams. Maybe a one-loss and a 2-loss team in the SEC title game. Both them teams ain't going to get in, man, right? So you're still down to just the one. I don't think this is a year where you're going to get 2 two members of the same conference in the college football playoff. I just don't see it. Tell me you saw the 4-3 with Jones out split out. I saw you say that, Jake, and I saw you say that a few times, but you're calling it 4-3 because you saw 3 linebackers in the middle of defense at the second level, right? What I saw was 3 defensive linemen and 4 linebackers. That's what I saw. But I understand you want to call it 4-3, so I was saying it depends on what you call it a 4-3, right? What I saw was a base 4-2-5 all day because you had 4 guys on the line of scrimmage all day, sometimes 5. And you had Kenneth Murray Jr. or Curtis Bolton or the Mike in the Wheel in the middle of the defense, right? A 4-3 to me has 3 linebackers behind the defensive line, not split out wide, playing some sort of hybrid outside linebacker safety position. So I hear it, and I'm not going to dispute it. I'm not going to say you're wrong. I'm just going to say that's what I call a 4-3. What else we got in here? Trying to make sure I didn't miss any of these super chats that are awesome. See, now I'm be able to go get the Bluetooth to plug into the laptop so that when Joel calls in, we can use the Bluetooth connection. Y'all don't have to worry about how loud the audio is because that thing is really expensive. And by the way, the reason the laptop is here in the on-demand videos isn't because I got some sort of script right here because I'm mostly just kind of going off the dome and I'm watching the chat on the screen like you are so I can read it alongside you. It's because we plug in the Shure to an adapter that acts like a soundboard because soundboards are really expensive and hard to set up and we just don't have the budget for it. But we did have a budget for this little guy right here, which allows for us to have the Shure mic sound that is crystal clear on the on-demand videos, but I haven't quite figured out how to make it crystal clear on the live stream because that's just a different software. And I'm really kind of making this up as we go and trying to do the best I can. And that's what we use the Super Chat for, right? We use Super Chat and Patreon to try to buy better equipment that RJ has to learn to use. Like we learned early on from my buddy who is in software engineering, said what it is your laptop just can't support the live stream bandwidth sometimes, and you need to get like an iMac or something with a lot more computing power and a big tower so that you can push out all that data and it doesn't do the lag thing that it's been doing. He came up with a workaround that we've been using all season, so that's also on the list. Just so we all know what we're doing for the people who watch this channel religiously. Well, Scott. Hey, audio sounds great. I appreciate that, Steven. Steven Gordon, by the way, is stronger than all of us. Dude went through chemo yesterday. Chemo, and he's chatting. He's watching the games. He's asking questions about who's doing what. Good grief, man. Strongest dude in this chat. Let me see. If we went out, I think we're in the CFP. That's 405 boy. Yeah, it's true. Next week, our weak secondary get exposed. I mean, if that's how you see it, that's not how I see it. I see it as the defensive line and linebackers might get to the quarterback before that dude has an opportunity to see the field. Happens all the time. Just watch it on Sundays. See, Redmond's going to be a stud. Yeah, he just needs time. All the freshmen need time, right? I'm glad Buki was able to give us all that hit because it shuts up the Buki naysayers for a while. All these kids are talking about 5-star what? 5 stars under 6 feet tall. That shouldn't be a thing. Freshman, right? You see the kid. You see how other kids respond to the kid. You know, where were y'all yelling about CD Lamb? You know, right? Let me get off of that because then I start screaming out of lens. Dominique Gomez. We beat TU in the conference championship. We beat everyone we played. I mean, yeah, but we beat TCU twice last week, so that one really doesn't hold water for me. I understand your sentiment, though, and I appreciate it. Rachel! What's good? I see you in here. Cody Sullivan. I appreciate you, fam. I hope Klatt responds to the invite. We've been tweeting at him because, and if you tweet at him, you know, be polite about it. Don't, like, yell at him because, you know, we're cool people. But, yes, we would love to have him chat on the channel. That'd be awesome. I would really enjoy it. Perkins and Redmond are going to wreak havoc in this league. Are going to wreak real havoc on everyone. That's Lloyd Grissom. He's right. They just need to grow up. They're true freshmen. That's what everybody needs to keep in mind. They're true freshmen. Deshaun White came in today. True freshman. Buki, true freshman. You know who you haven't seen? You haven't seen any Pat Fields. Or you've seen very little Pat Fields. You've seen very little Miguel Edwards. Right? That's also a couple guys that I would really love to see. And also, this is a secondary that is playing without Chance Sylvie, who we were all expecting to be back there with like a Robert Barnes, right? Let alone whatever Khalil Houghton was planning to do. And then Justin Broyles has also been sort of a godsend by being able to play nickel and safety. And this is a guy who was playing corner to start his career. We're going to be okay. The kids just need to grow up. It's a young defense that just needs to grow up. Let me see. RJ yelled at the screen. Yeah, that's pretty much. Corey Lewis! Same Corey that hit me up at Jamba Juice. Man, I was going to get Jamba Juice before the game started. And Corey hit me up. He's like, yo, what's good? I'm going to get you booked. And, you know, and then we got to pick because he's cool. I mean, if you see me in public, say hi. I'm really not mean about it because I always think that it's just really cool that people watch the channel, let alone think that it's cool that I make the videos because I do it as a form of therapy and because I love it and because I wanted a space for folks like myself who love OU football, who jones on college football, to have a spot to talk about it with each other, which is another reason, you know, why we do things like this. Dirty Jerry, man, he was here last year. What else we got? Klatt dogging UCF, and I love it. Yeah, I mean, he gave a pretty ironclad argument, right? His argument is less the whole who do you play and more looking at who else, okay, who do other people like you play. And he threw up North Dakota State, which is an FCS team, who had a schedule that was just as strong or weak, depending on who you ask, as UCF. And North Dakota State's not like we should be in the college football playoff because they play in another division. So that was his argument. His argument is that UCF, if you want people to think you're good, you have to go play good teams. And you don't play in a conference that anybody cares about, and you don't play a schedule that anybody thinks is good. And until you do that, it's going to be hard for anybody to take you seriously, and that's one of the reasons that we made things like selection committee. But I think they should be allowed in, but not in a 14 playoff. I think make it a 16 playoff, right? That way everybody who deserves a shot gets a shot. You don't have any more undefeated teams going, why didn't we get to play? That's my primary concern. My primary concern is that if you win out, you should have a shot at the title, no matter how small. Even if you're the 16 seed in a 16-team bracket, you should deserve a shot at the title because you beat everybody, and that's the way that we play sports. We look at the scoreboard. That tells us who won. And now we're still in a place in 2018 where folks can look at the scoreboard, see you won every game, and still not give you even a sniff of the prize. I think that that's wrong. So, yeah, he's correct, and UCF does not have an argument to get into this 4-team college football playoff, But I think he would be incorrect, and I don't think he didn't go this far, so I'm not putting these words in his mouth. I think he'd be incorrect in saying that they don't deserve a shot at the title outright with a 16-team playoff, right? Because they're an FBS school. They play in an FBS conference. They play in what we call a group of 5 conference, which is exactly the kind of team that you make these kind of concessions for with the New Year's Six Bowl. So you can make an argument that those 6 teams deserve a shot at the title. That's how UCF would get in. I would like to see UCFs of the world, the Boise States of the world, get an opportunity to get a shot at the title because I think it's good for my favorite sport. So what else we got in here? Appreciate that, KJF. What else we got in here? Jaron Jones, do you think Ron Tatum will be the breakout surprise player next year like Bolton? I don't know, dog, because I didn't call Bolton, and there's a lot of folks that called Ron Tatum as the dude who would break out this year. There weren't a lot of people that were yelling Ronnie Perkins was going to be the man until preseason. If you remember, if you go back to the summer, there were even folks like Jake Trotter were going, Ron Tatum could be that dude on the defense as a true freshman, right? Nobody was really saying Buki out loud until he became the preseason, I think it's preseason newcomer of the year. Hadn't even played a snap. That's how highly folks thought of him coming in who voted, right? But I don't know. We'll really have to see. It could be Miguel Edwards. Because as much as people want to see Ron Tatum, I think we have an opportunity to see a corner step up and become the man at Oklahoma. Because we keep talking about how Parnell Motley just ain't necessarily that good. We keep talking about how Trey Norwood is serviceable, and we all like Trey Brown, right? But if Miguel Edwards or Starlin Baldwin coming back from his knee, right? Or Woody Washington coming in, or Jaden Davis coming in, right, turn out to be just the man out there at corner, and you can stick them out there by themselves and then have an extra man to rush with, yeah, that becomes your breakout player of the year. And I don't necessarily think there's really a way in for Ron Tatum today because Ronnie Perkins has that spot slotted up, right? And Jalen Redmond, let's not forget this. Jalen Redmond was on blood thinners. Jalen Redmond was supposed to redshirt the season. Jalen Redmond wasn't even supposed to practice this year, condition this year. And he's not only made his way back, he has leapfrogged Ron Tatum on the depth chart, and he's coming into the rotation of defensive ends. That should tell you a lot about where Ron Tatum is on this team right now, right? That's what you need to know about Ron Tatum. Let me see what else we got in here. Phone died, I'm back. Oh, appreciate that. RJ, your streams and videos are so helpful for information. Everyone that wants to try to challenge me with OU football, I get to expose them. I like hearing that, Bo. Appreciate that. What else we got in here? We were talking about Ron Tatum, Jake. Let me see. I'm looking for question marks because we're all going to hop off of here in about 12 minutes so we can join on the on-demand recap video, which I'm also using Premiere. For those of you that don't know what Premiere is a new feature that YouTube has given to about 50% of all YouTube creators. I think creators with over 10,000, which is why we qualify because we just went over the 10,000 threshold. Yay us. So that you can create hype around it is what the idea was. But since we have scheduled uploads every day at 6 o'clock, I've been just making the Premiere a part of it so that we can chat. I joined in the chat. Last night I threw shade at myself because, well, it's a joke. Because believe it or not, there are a lot of people that join the comments just to throw shade at me and to tell me how much this channel doesn't really do anything or how much it sucks. So that's why I was doing it. But I enjoy Premiere. There's a lot of folks that enjoy Premiere because it acts like a live stream for us. I'm just not talking live during it. So that's cool. But I am in the chat. Let me see. Draper played some today. Yeah, he did. He played some mop-up time, though. So, it's good to see him out there, but he's still not getting out there ahead of Caleb Kelly, Robert. And I think that's the thing to keep in mind. Austin, I said I got Oklahoma State tonight. What else got? Dukin, what you got? I missed it. It went by too fast, Dukin. I'm looking for it, Dukin. So if it comes back, I'll try to get it. Todd Pearson just got paid. Bought your book. I'll leave a review soon, my brother. I appreciate that. Thank you so much. Curtis Kidd 12. What you got? I'm with you on OSU versus Texas. 34-23 Pokes. Boomer. Sooner. Very cool. Bob Satterfield agrees with my 16 teams playoff bit. Let's see what else we got. Has the D been better than you expected since, Yes, it has. It has been better. It has been outstanding. It has given up all of 27 points from the starters, right? It's given up all of 34 points total as a defense. I'm ecstatic about the defense and where it's headed. I really am. I'm excited. It's nice for me, RJ, to be so bullish on the defense. Like, can't tell y'all how much fun I'm having going go Ruffin instead of fire Mike. Seriously, I am cool. Appreciate that, Sean. What else we got? Ain't got that $2 super chat. Appreciate that. Caden Wiley, sup? RJ just got back from the game. Hey, that's what's up. I hope you had a good time. Homecoming. I always like stomping people in a mud hole in the homecoming. It's always fun. Let me see. Man, y'all that won a 16 college football playoff hate fun. Y'all are the same folks yeah, man, I'm cool on you. I'm cool on you. Cody Sullivan, appreciate that. Nah, one for every Power 5 conference, then one at large. Y'all hate playoffs. I know what it is. Y'all don't want to get Boise State again. And I don't want to get Boise State again, but I do want everybody to have a shot at the title. I really do. I'm tired of just folks with the money having an opportunity to play for championships. As a dude that supports a team with money and a blue blood program, I want to see everybody get a shot because I don't want to hear anybody's lip about how they deserve a national championship. Like I gave 2017 national championship to Central Florida because they went undefeated. That's what you do. That's the job. The job is to beat everybody you play, right? So if we dispense with this whole garbage thing about who schedules who, right? Because there's some teams like North Dakota State, they can't get Alabama to schedule them. It just won't happen. Alabama won't take that game. And you might say North Dakota State, that's an FCS team. And you'd be right. It's also a very good FCS team. And if they were an FBS team, they would be into the 16-team playoff because they're that good. I want everybody to have an opportunity to win it. I really do. Because that's how it is every other sport. In every other sport, every team has a shot. You make the playoffs, you got a shot. Right? NBA season means jack all because the playoffs allow all the good teams to have a shot at the title. That's what I want, man. That's what I want. And we play so few games. That's the other thing that's really just ridiculous. You have to have a 16-team playoff because you don't play a lot of games in football. It's hard. See, 14 playoff is a joke. Amen. What else got in here? Waiting on your book to arrive. I appreciate that. Let me see. I got to come up with a good way to sign these books too, man. We might do a meetup at some point because I want to be able to sign everybody's Let It Bang. I also want folks to really give Blood Country a go. Derek and I are working overtime on it, and it's really something I'm excited about. Let me see. Man, love your channel. Look forward to your videos every day. Thanks for all your hard work. I appreciate that, Sean. Let's see what else we got in here. Defense has got me excited. Amen to that. Troy Blair, what up, Archie? Thought the kids played very good today, and second week of D under Ruffin has played better, and they look energized and like they've been playing for him and like playing for him. Okay, what are your thoughts? Basically the same, dog. Like, I love the defense. I love the way that it's playing. I love that Ruffin loves the kids in a way that they haven't been loved on in a while, right? And I think when you get to this high level of football, it's like getting to a high level of any job. It's like tuning a NASCAR, stock car, or an F1 car. At that point, you're not trying to make it faster. You're trying to keep it together. Your job is not to make it faster. Your job is to make sure it doesn't break. And that's what you have when you're looking at kids that get to Oklahoma. 4-star, 5-star, 3-star, whatever. They're all the best at what they do in the area of the country they come from. They don't necessarily need you to beat on them like they're a Honda Civic. They need you to make sure they run correctly and to make sure that they are filled with confidence. And then they'll go play lights out for you like they are right now. I think that's a real key. Lincoln Riley is not on the sidelines eating the lunch of his offense, even when they make mistakes, right? He's talking to them. He's listening to their fears, and he's abetting them. Oh, KJF, appreciate that. $50 super chat, man. That's what's up. I wish you would have dropped me something, dog. I always like it when folks, when you drop super chat, leave a comment, leave a question. I really do appreciate it. Man, that's cool. And y'all coming out of the woodwork with these super chats tonight. That's what's up. Ruffin has simplified it, let the players play. Which you would think every football coach would do on every side of football, but whatever. Your scheme doesn't win championships, the players do. Sorry, I've been holding on to that one for a while. Bookie was slow to get up. I was worried for a minute. Yeah, he was writhing over there like his shoulder was, you know, in another county. Yes, there's going to be another video tonight in about 5 minutes, so we're going to sign off now and head over there because I'm going to chat in the premiere, and we're all going to have a good time. So, if you're in the chat, let me shout you out so we can go over there to where the premiere is. You can see at the top of the YouTube channel page. You click on that. There's a chat that's going, 2 minutes of countdown and bad music that I have no say in, and then we'll watch what I had to say rapidly after the game. Be fun. So, Dukin said, did I call the game on yesterday's vid or what? Yes, you did. You and Greg Tate both. Let's see. Rio, deuces. Kyle Cavett is out. Rachel's out. Robert's out. KJF, big super chat. Tanner Henshaw, big super chat. Dr. Kyle Cavett, huge super chat. Jake is out. Dirty's out. Let me see. Otis is out. Derek, I'll see you, fam. Jay, I'll see you. Chihuahua Mom is out. Lloyd Grisman, deuces. Stephen Gordon, strongest man here. Bradley character, deuces. Fernando is out. Williams out. Dieter! Appreciate that, man. Hit me back with your email, Dieter. I want to get you your comic book. Jesus is out. That's Jesus or Jesus, because I don't want to mess that one up. Preston is out. Doc! Appreciate you, fam. Keaton is out. Sean Robertson's out. Joseph Van Harn, I see you. Mike McCoy's out. Dirty Deuces. Cade's out. Richard Young, deuces. Dakota Green. M. Keegs, thank you, sir. Long time friend of the channel. B. Waitman, deuces. Sean is out. Appreciate that super chat, fam. Southern Pride, deuces. Caden Wiley's out. Rudy Lopez is out. Greg, I appreciate you, fam. It's love. I shout at the screen. Sometimes I call people out. I don't mean you to take it personally. I appreciate you staying with us. Ryan Eli is out. Chris is out. Daz Soup is out. Walker Klein is out. Mario Barra, see you. Warthog, no Pez and Spencer. I like it. Robert Lane, I'll see you, fam. Crankstar is out. Ryan Eli is out. Dominique Gomez, deuces. Appreciate you hitting up the Patreon, Ryan, excuse me. Curtis Kidd is out. Appreciate the super chat, fam. Gerald Delaney's out. Rod Aitson, I'll see you, fam. Dukin! Hashtag Steven Strong, I like it. Troy Blair's out. Bo Barton is out. Anybody else? Going once. Going twice. All right. Terry! And Mama, Laurel, Weapon X, Brave. I'll see y'all later. That's it for me. If you like the videos, don't forget to like and subscribe because I upload video every single day. It's always OU related, college football related, sports related. We have a good time. Head over to Premiere right now. I'm going to chat it up. Deuces.